Hello Year 7, this is your second assessment task for this year. It's on the topic of heroes, the modes being assessed are viewing, writing and listening. It will be issued this week and it is due in week 9, and your teacher will inform you of the submission date that is due depending on when it is handed out. Now you must make a copy of your assessment cover sheet and that must be handed in, so the marking criteria and the front page with your assessment task. The total marks are out of 32 and the weighting is 25%. The outcomes assessed on this task are outcome 1, outcome 3, outcome 5 and outcome 7. Here's the rubric of the task, gentlemen, and this is probably the most important part of the task in terms of guiding you with what you need to do. So you'll be marked on how well you identify and explain characteristics of a hero in a selected extract, and how you select an appropriate hero, and how you compose and portray characteristics of a hero in a feature article. Another important component to the task, gentlemen, is your declaration of originality. This means that you haven't taken or used other people's work and claimed it as your own, and you should be signing here on the student's signature line. There are two parts to your assessment, gentlemen, Part A and Part B. I'll read you through Part A first. You're required to watch a YouTube clip on an interview with Malala Yousafzai, a Nobel Peace Prize recipient, and answer the set questions found on pages 3 and 4 of this document. Now, if you click just here on Malala's name, you'll be guided to a YouTube video that you need to watch in order to answer your questions. Now, you can either print out the relevant question pages and handwrite the answers into the spaces provided, or you can type them directly onto the document and print them out prior to submission. So again, just as a backup, here is the YouTube clip. So should you need that, you will need that, I'm sorry. That's the one that you go to and you listen to. Part B. So you've watched the interview and you're now to research a hero that portrays similar characteristics to those demonstrated by Malala. When you've chosen and researched your hero, and I would suggest that you talk with your teacher about this, boys, to make sure that you've chosen the correct and appropriate hero, you're to write a feature article. Now, embedded in the task is how to write a great feature article. So you click on feature article and the link will come up, and that will give you a guide as to how you need to do it. Now, you have a particular audience for your feature article, and that's always really important. Yours is going to be published in the Maristian newspaper that will be celebrating the heroic attributes of your chosen individual. The heroic qualities that you have identified in Part A must also be apparent through the feature article, and I'll go to that in just one moment. Your teacher will also go through the structure of a feature article in your class, so you will have those moments to ask questions and verify. The word limit on this task is 600 to 800 words. And here are some ideas about what we would like you to include in your feature article. So what is the significant event that made your person a hero? What is the individual's perspective on the situation? So if they're from war, what was it all about? How does the hero feel and how are they perceived by others? What does your individual do in order to show the specific heroic characteristics? Now, I'll just go down here, gentlemen, and from Part A, this is continued on. So this is your answer sheet here. You watch the extract, you complete the questions, and you hand your responses in to your classroom teacher on the date that they set for you. Now, what we're asking you to do here is to look at the characteristics that a person needs to have to be considered a hero. So you need to identify 3 hero characteristics that Malala displays in the interview and importantly, explain how she specifically showed these characteristics in her extract. So if you look at characteristic 1, now you might write there courage, and that will be correct and you'll get 1 mark. but then you need to go on and explain how she shows this characteristic. So is Malala someone that never gave up, and despite being shot in the head by a Taliban terrorist, she, you know, survives, and does she give up on her cause? No, she courageously carries on with it. So you would write that in there. However, you can't write courage if it's not covered in the YouTube clip. So you need to pick attributes or characteristics that Malala actually has, and you can see in the YouTube clip. Exactly the same again, a second characteristic. So this time it might be that she's very humble and that she doesn't expect any praise or special consideration for what she does. And again, you go on and you would explain that. And then a third characteristic, gentlemen. So you might talk about her honesty. And again, you would go on and you would explain that. Now, I'm not saying that these characteristics are there, but knowing Malala Yousafzai, I would say that they're very important characteristics. But, however, I stress that they must be in the YouTube clip that you watch on her. Okay, here's the marking criteria. This is for the reading comprehension section. So part A, where you're reading and you're identifying a characteristic and explaining how that's shown. So you select a characteristic and justify the concept of a hero perceptively. Second band, thoughtfully. Third band, you do it soundly. The fourth band, it's limited. And the fifth band, it's elementary. I would hope none of you will be down there. The feature article, that you compose a highly detailed and sophisticated feature article, and that's outcome 1. That you demonstrate a sophisticated understanding of the characteristics of a hero, which is outcome 5. And that you demonstrate a sophisticated control of language and composition appropriate to audience, purpose and form, specifically to a feature article, and that is outcome 3. Now that top band, that A range, extensive, 17 to 20. Thorough, B, 13 to 16. Sound, C, 9 to 12. Limited, D, 5 to 8. And elementary, E, 1 to 4. Your total marks will be marked here out of 32, and you will have a comment written by the marking teacher on this task. So gentlemen, just to recap, I'll go back to the very start, to the front page. It's your second assessment task. It is due in week 9. It's on your current topic, heroes. The mode is writing, viewing and listening. It will be distributed to you in week 2, and it will be submitted in week 9. Your teacher will remind you of the date of that, and you will write that into your diary so that you won't forget. There are 2 parts to the task. You must listen to the YouTube clip of, or you'll listen and view it, of Malala Yousafzai. You will answer 3 questions on her, and then you will create your own feature article of 600 to 800 words that looks at Malala Yousafzai and her heroic qualities. So gentlemen, that's it for the task. I wish you well. Remember, if you have any questions, to please make sure you speak with your classroom teacher so that they can help you with any